Okay, we're in.
Welcome to
Again, this is Winners Bracket Round 2 of the Esports Hawaii Little Summer Tournament. And we got 5 Beautifool seats in the blue, Hot Raccoons in the purple. A bit of a throwback to a lot of the older champions from previous seasons. For some reason, blue team not leaving their base. It's a little odd.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But we got that Misfortune and that Sona. See how that does.
A summoner has reconnected.
Okay, so Morgana DCing briefly, but looks like she's okay now. Olaf might be DC'd as well from the looks of things.
Minions have spawned.
Olaf looking like he's having a hard time moving. Hasn't left the fountain yet. It's going to be very late to lane. And if Renekton knows what's good for him, he'll take advantage of that. And we're going to see parallel jungles. Vi starting at her blue. And Wukong starting at the red. And a nice healthy leash from both teams. As we head into the laning. See how this match plays out. Both teams should be relatively evenly matched. You see some early wards going down in bot lane. Want to get that bush control. Alistar with his headbutt pulverize combo definitely wants to get that bush control right away. But good early ward by Sona to deny that. Keep track of him. Wukong already making his way to his second buff. Vi lagging behind a little bit. That slower initial clear. Definitely apparent right there. Gragas pushing into Morgana. But she should be able to farm under turret. See Wukong making his rounds up to top lane. Wards the Tribush to scout for Vi. And here's the gank. The red buff is ticking. Stealths forward and crushing blow combo. But the back ping's coming out from his teammate. Whoa. Looked like Alistar wanted to get his pulverized combo off. Ors Tamaki flashing over the wall, but right into the jaws of Renekton, and that's a first blood plus double buff Renekton. A lot of value out of that kill, for sure. So Ors Tamaki sticking around, overstaying his welcome, and they make him pay for it. Hot Raccoons take an early lead here. Alistar walking up for that lane presence. Representing that headbutt pulverize. Here it comes again. Gets the double. Not sure why they grouped up right there. Just free damage. So already MF and Alistar pushing their weight around, but Alistar is getting low on mana. So he's going to have to wait for a little bit. On the other hand, Sona, very low on mana herself. Both supports still with their biscuit from the Masteries. And both bot laners still have all their summoners. Should also be noted that Wukong does not have his flash, so he can ill afford to be caught out of a position like that again. He will most likely die again if he gets sandwiched like that. And it looks like he's going back just to his regular power clearing. Going all the way down for the golems. Not even thinking about ganking anymore. And the top lane, Renekton with that double buff. But Olaf, not really too worried about it. Well, he is a little out of position right there. That's gonna cost him a lot of damage. Yeah, that double buff so good for Renekton. Even though he is monolith, those cooldowns are great for him. Not to mention the red buff. See Vi finishing off her clear. Looks like she's gonna head back soon. Yep. Ward goes down into the mid-river bush. Getting pinged out right away. So we see Yelps getting as much of the value out of that double buff as he can, trying to fight Olaf as much as possible without losing too much CS. And we see that Renekton picked up an early Giant's Belt, so a lot of fighting well, not necessarily fighting stats, but definitely a lot of survivability stats early. You usually don't see Giant's Belts on Renekton this early in the game. And because Olaf's E does true damage, stacking the health, definitely a reasonable answer to that. But yeah, it looks like both junglers are just waiting for them to hit 6. The likelihood of a gank once both junglers hit 6 definitely increases by a lot. Alistair, again, representing the pulverized headbutt, but he hasn't really shown that he's been able to land it consistently, as he's knocked Caitlyn away multiple times without knocking her up. See Gragas going over to pick up his blue. Morgana's blue should be up in a little bit as well. Taking a look at the CS advantage across the board, Renekton has a very big lead, as well as Gragas. And because Misfortune has been shoving up pretty much the entire laning phase, and with Alistair being annoying, the CS advantage is big in bot lane as well, so the gold lead is 10.3 to 8.9, very, very early. Purple team definitely showing that they are the stronger team in terms of laning mechanics. And now that Vi has hit 6, we'll see if she'll look to make a play somewhere. It's going to be difficult to gank onto the Morgana since she does have the black shield. She's going to be able to shrug off Assault and Battery. Very, very easy to see when that's coming. Or it's Tamaki up top lane. Wants to make a play. He's waiting for Renekton to possibly go in. And this is going to be a gank. There's the Cyclone. Ragnarok is popped. Olaf goes way too close and just gets ignited down. Not sure if that gank was a good idea or not. They really tried to force it. And Renekton just simply said, oh hey, it's a low health Olaf, let me just ignite you real quick. Easily walks away. And this gives Speedy Otter all the power he needs to invade the jungle since Olaf is dead. You can see there Alistair just warning up the dragon. We'll see if Purple Team wants to make a play for that soon. They are definitely winning this laning phase. Alistair flashing on top. Pops his ultimate. And a nice flash forward by Misfortune. Caitlyn forced to run for her life. So things just went from bad to worse for the blue team. As Wukong comes over to try to defend this, but oh, it looks like they're gonna try to go aggressive here. Nice headbutt away by Alistair. Wukong has no chance at catching that, not without his ultimate. So he will just clear out the wave. So Hot Raccoons out of the gates, really strong so far. Ooh, Alistair looks like he wants to stick around to bait this out. Alistair did not want to commit to the Pulverize since he could not see Wukong. Wanted to see if he tried juking backwards or something. Some next level stuff. As we see Renekton with a 10-minute Sunfire Cape. Very, very far ahead right now. Olaf has the pieces of the Sunfire, but still a pretty big difference right now. And Olaf is just pinned under his tower, can't really do much of anything. Although, to be fair, Renekton can't just walk up to the tower either and start pushing, because the Sunfire Cape would draw tower aggro. Black Shield coming down, kind of a odd choice to blow the ultimate. A little miscommunication right there. Gragas didn't want to go anymore, but Vi still wanted to. He's probably thinking about ulting that now that the Black Shield went down. And we'll see if Renekton decides to start roaming since he's been shoving up so much. Neither top lane with a teleport, so they will be stuck on that island. See Vi covering mid lane. About the 11-minute mark, the gold lead is 15.6 to 13.2. 3 kills to 0. But still no towers, still no dragons. A lot of wards down on blue side, that little triangle of wards covering those entrances and exits. And covering the bush by dragon. And they know that Vi's coming through because of those wards, so the immediate back pings are coming out. And Vi will have to cut her losses. Oh no, she's coming back in again. There's the bullet time, and there is the full ranged assault and battery, and a beautiful knockback right into the jaws of misfortune. And Wukong can't afford to stick around and fight this. And it looks like they're gonna go for the dive. Oh, Alistair a little slow on the headbutt pulverize combo, but they still get the job done. Score is 1-6. Very convincing lead right now. This game is snowballing very hard for hot Raccoons right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, and as expected with 3 people that went down for the blue team, easy bot turret, first turret of the game. Hot Raccoons can now happily go back and spend since they are low on mana and Alistair's low on health. They can pretty much take that dragon now whenever they want. Taking a look at the items across the board. The BF sword for Caitlyn, but the completed Bloodthirster for Misfortune. Very big power spike. Olaf still only sitting on those pieces of Sunfire because basically if he leaves lane right now to buy, Renekton will take the turret. So he's really, really stuck right now. And because he's out of pots, he doesn't really have too many ways to heal up. So the danger of that is that eventually Renekton might get him low enough to the point where he can dive him. Monster Mind really starting to feel the pressure there. Missing a bunch of CS. He's gonna have to calm down. And a good Dark Binding. And an even better Black Shield. Dodges all the CC. Soul Shackles comes down. Gragas is burning. And the red buff tick will finish him. Oh, and a very nice reinitiate by Alistair. Vi is very strong right now, but the Cyclone, nice by Ors Tamaki to hold that. The bullet time coming across does not quite catch Morgana. Pops the Black Shield, but the red buff tick will finish her off. Ace in the hole coming across as well. Caitlyn flashing, looked like flashed into the wall by accident. Not sure if he just tried to flash forward or flash over the wall, but in any event, Vi will escape. Renekton still pushing in top lane. Olaf cannot move to help his team, even though he wanted to. Ping's going down onto Dragon. They could be setting up for that. Vi going back to buy first. Looks like now 3-1 and 3. Good deal of the kill participation right there. Already has Spirit of the Lizard Elder on lock. And the Giant's Belt. which will be built into a defensive item of his choice.
Has slain a dragon.
Oh, Vi didn't even need to recall. They just took the dragon straight away. A good call. Blue team was in no way looking for a team fight up in the open, and there's the dive. Oh, and a very late Ragnarok by Olaf, and that's going to cost him his life. And then, yeah, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Where Olaf would just get so low that Renekton could just dive him for free. Olaf could have potentially have ran away from that if he had Ragnarok sooner, but just a little slow on the ultimate. Or Tamaki coming up trying to make something happen. He does have Cyclone in a little bit. And as soon as it's up, I think he's going to go for it. Well, actually doesn't even need it. With that blue buff, the cooldown's more than enough to take him out. So, good use of his cooldowns right there. Gets some value out of that by holding on to Cyclone. Because of course, securing the kill with Cyclone would have been good, but the downside to that would be that he would no longer have Cyclone available. And at this point, the more that the blue team can save up to be used for other plays, the better off they'll be. The gold lead is about 6k, 20.8 to 26.6. So we see purple team heading back down to bot. It is pushing into their turret. 2 turrets to 0 right now. Renekton still hasn't quite finished off the top turret, but that should be falling very, very soon. It is quite low. And with no turret to protect her, Morgana needs to play back very far. And it looks like Gragas is making his way up to top lane. Could be seeing a dive. That Tribush is pinked, so he will be spotted out, but not sure if Olaf will be able to react in time. Actually, Gragas looks like he's not going up there. Makes a complete U-turn. Not sure who called that, but in any event, they will not attempt to dive. There's the Assault and Battery. Soul Shackle is not going to do much. The Ignite is ticking, the red buff is ticking. Oh, and Wukong going in. Could be potential Foot Soldier status. Good crushing blow. Alistar showing up. Too late to save the Fat Man, but more than enough time to let Vi get a double kill. And Misfortune looks like she's going pure damage, pure penetration. Working on that, what will most likely be a Black Cleaver. Purple team really starting to turn the screws onto the blue team. Yeah, right now Olaf does not have the damage to threaten Renekton. But Renekton was able to afford a Brutalizer with all the money he's been collecting. So definitely gives him a big advantage. Oh, and Olaf is about to get the solo queue dive special with 4 people. And Alistar wisely not bothering to chase that because he knows that if he goes aggressive, Olaf will just Ragnarok anyway. So they just take the guaranteed turret. Olaf recalling just in the nick of time. And purple team is all stacked up, but without Gragas. Although to be fair, Gragas is not a big part of their gold. He's only 0-2 and 2 compared to everyone else on his team. And blue team just slow to rotate. The fact that bot lane is by themselves pushing their own turret. So that's a free inner. Oh wow, and blue team don't even get the bottom turret yet. Gragas coming in to defend. And he's going to scare them off. And meanwhile, that's going to be a free inhibitor turret. Oh my. Ors Tamaki in no man's land trying to initiate by himself. Alistar is a little low on mana, but a nice bullet time backwards. MF may go down in the back. No, it looks like she's going to be okay. Just barely survives that. She was burning, but yeah, just a horrible turn of events right there. Hot Raccoons was able to capitalize with a push all the way down the top lane. And that inhibitor is going to be free for the taking very soon. Coming up on the 20-minute, 30-second mark. The gold lead has ballooned to 34.8 to 25.9. There's not a whole lot that the blue team can do to try to regain control of this game. This game is slipping out of their grasps. In fact, with that push and that exchange, it may have just slipped out of their hands completely. They did get the one turret, but it was definitely not quote-unquote worth. As the dragon will be live in about 30 seconds. Man, Renekton just not taking any damage right there. Just sitting in the pool for almost the entire duration. And it looks like purple team is scheming. They want to try and catch somebody to maybe ward out the dragon. But nobody will bite. Good dark binding to stop the advance. Alistar with those Moby boots though, so fast coming around the side. And the dragon is live now, so purple team will help themselves to it. At this point, it's more of a luxury than anything. It's just to ensure, in case something goes terribly wrong, that's one less objective for the blue team to get back. Blue team with wards all around the map in that middle area. They have like 4 or 5 wards near that entrance to Baron, because they want to make sure that they know when they're doing it. Renekton going to split off from the team to push out top lane, which is a good idea, since top lane's probably going to be their target soon with the inhibitor exposed. Ooh, actually, MF getting initiated on, but Olaf going in the middle, trying to do as much damage as he can. The Ragnarok's going to bypass the Soul Shackles, and Bullet Time's going to get cut off mid-sentence. And blue team with a nice play. Alistar is caught up in that myriad of wards that they have set down there. And again, Renekton not there, so he could not help. You gotta believe that if he was there, that would have been a completely different fight. So just like that, blue team with the plays. They caught Misfortune out, got a lot of damage onto her. Oh, and Renekton gonna get 5v1'd, it looks like. He has to flash over the wall. And the death timers are ticking down. Pretty much the entire team is up again. So blue team is going to just have to take what they can and get out. Definitely the next doable objective would be that top outer turret. And it's something that they need to get down. Much needed gold for them, as well as map presence. Having all the outer turrets down would really help them. Taking a look at the items completed across the board, we see Wukong has a Sunfire Cape, one of the 4 in this game. And he is building towards what will most likely be a Warden's Mail next. Gonna sit on the Brutalizer as well. Morgana, not with the best of games right now, has only the Rod of Ages finished. And is building towards a Zhonya's. And she is quite far from that right now. Caitlyn still only with a Bloodthirster, sitting on about 1300 or so. Yeah, it does pick up the Zeal. And Misfortune almost finished with her Last Whisper, very, very far ahead. And Vi going for that Trinity Force. So much money right now. She had the option to finish her Elder Lizard and get the Sunfire, and she's almost finished with Trinity at this point. Once she has the Sheen, the Force will most likely be finished, since the recipe is only 3 gold. Yeah, and Renekton probably shouldn't split off from the team anymore. If he wants to go push out top, the team should probably just move with him, because him not being there for that fight was a pretty big deal. MF just kind of got run down by Ragnarok Olaf. Dark Binding catching on to Speedy Otter, but he will give no cares. Blue team not in a position to capitalize on that. Yeah, and they will bulldoze down this inhibitor, as I predicted. Or is Tamaki trying to juke them by standing still? Gets the Cyclone. Here comes Olaf. Ooh, they actually do pick up Misfortune before Ragnarok is even necessary. But this time Renekton is in the fight. He is doing the damages, but it is not enough. Caitlyn has been untouched this whole fight, and again, Gragas not with the most amount of damage, compared to the rest of his team. So he just does not have that explosive burst damage. And 5 Beautiful seats have retaken control of this game for the time being, with a 3-for-1 successful inhibitor defense. The question now will be, how much can they get out of this? Purple team wisely, seeing that they're all up top, takes a free inner turret. But blue team needs to just take this. They can't afford to let them get away with that for nothing. I'm actually surprised that they didn't make a call for Baron right there. That would have been a pretty good chance for them to Baron safely. And the blue team is actually still pushing. Renekton and Alistar are coming, but this turret's already done, so they can't defend that. They just need to leave. So just like that, the turret count goes to 4 to 6. Much closer now. The gold lead is still very much in the favor of the purple team. So the blue team can't get too happy just yet. They should know that they're still very much behind if you can just look at the items. But that did help a lot. Of course, Tamaki finding a wild Gragas, but he is on the wrong side of the map, so he can't chase that. The last thing that blue team can afford to do now is to get picked, because a pick will probably result in a inhibitor at the very least, depending on where he gets picked. But yeah, right now the purple team need to find a way to get everyone off of Misfortune. It's going to be easier said than done though, with the Black Shield plus the Ragnarok. There's a lot of anti-CC, a lot of anti-peel, which allows them to kind of just run them down. And one of the keys I think is going to be whether Wukong can get his initiate the way he wants it to. In that inhibitor defense, he pretty much got a free jump onto Misfortune. And yeah, purple team cannot afford to let him keep doing that. Alistar popping a Talisman of Ascension, but it didn't look like his team was on the same page, as nobody else went with him. So that is a cooldown wasted. This gives the blue team even more time to regroup. Interesting choice with the Warmogs onto Olaf. I would have expected him to go maybe another defensive item like Randuin's, since the problems right now are Vi, Renekton, and Misfortune. Okay, so the purple team is looking for a pick right here. Blue team saying to be careful. They don't want to get caught out. They do have a lot of squishy choice targets that the purple team would love to jump on. It's all going to come down to who gets the better initiate and how good they can use the Black Shield to protect their damage dealers. Purple team hovering around the Baron area, most likely looking for a bait. They do not want to start it right now. Alistar is in full vision of the blue team because of that ward. Ooh, Caitlyn walking in a bad spot. Takes half her life. That barrel so big. Wukong going superhero mode right there. A nice crescendo, catches 3. Good barrel to blow away the blue team. So now they are split. But the purple team is still on the retreat. Wukong is doing so much work right now, going superhero mode. Oh, and he baits the Alistar into pulverizing early. And on the opposite side of the map, Renekton takes down Sona. So the trade is overall a 2-for-2. Yeah, Wukong just pulled the trigger. You see the result. Both AD carries going down in that fight. Again, not surprising, considering that Caitlyn got bursted down to half. Oh, and Morgana, you are so very dead right now. That's a free kill. It's wrong place, wrong time right there, and that might be the signal for Baron. Looks like that's where they're headed. The wards immediately go down at the entrances. And blue team knows what's up. They're gonna have to go for it. Someone's gonna have to face check, unfortunately. And they're probably gonna face check right into a bullet time combo. Yep, and here comes Wukong. Okay, they know that they're there. The ping's going right on top of that bush. So there will be no wombo combo this match. And the purple team starting off on the Baron. Blue team is coming, but Morgana is not there yet. Alistair doing his best to peel everybody away. The Baron is getting really low. Purple team does finish it off. And we'll see what they choose to do here. Looks like blue team gonna regroup. Purple team does not want to fight. And that will just be a free Baron, relatively uncontested from the blue team. Pretty easy job for Alistair right there, just to peel people away. Okay, so coming up on the 31-30 minute mark. The gold lead, again, still very much in the favor of the purple team, but their team fights have been very lackluster since the mid-game. Ever since they pushed all the way down to the inhibitor, their team fights have been very lackluster. Miss Fortune, for all of her gold and all of her items, she's just getting focused. And all the CC immunity is just ripping her apart. With a Baron buff, it will be much, much harder to fight them now. Not only does it give them the buff, but all the gold they got from it. See, allows Gragas to pick up some AP damage, working towards that death cap. So now the Gragas is going to start becoming a problem. And with the looking across the blue team, I see no MR items. With the exception of the Chalice. So Gragas is going to be doing a lot of damage to the blue team if he can land everything. Taking a look at the items for the purple team, Renekton with a full core build, Spirit Visage, Black Cleaver, Sunfire. Miss Fortune with the Last Whisper on deck. We'll see if she builds towards a defensive item next, or whether she decides to keep going more damage. Vi almost finished with her Randuin. She is extremely big right now. Wukong also fairly strong, not quite as strong. Here comes the fight again. Wukong gets the initiation that he wants. A beautiful crescendo, locking up everybody. And in the back, Miss Fortune does go down. But Morgana goes down as well. Good peel back. Sona is actually able to survive with barely any health and is able to provide support for her team. A good decision by Monster Mind to peel back. And oh my gosh, Alistair's so dead right there. Unnecessary ace in the hole to finish that off. And the pings coming down onto the mid lane. So JJC made the call to go back and peel off the Renekton, and it worked out. They basically went 5 for 1 right there. And again, the story of the fights, Miss Fortune has just been getting run down. Every time she tries to cast bullet time, she just dies. Miss Fortune has respawned, Gragas has respawned as well. So unfortunately, because that fight was so deep on their side of the map, they are unable to get anything more than an inner turret, but it is still something. Oh, and it looks like blue team wants to swing around for the dragon. Purple team on their way. So blue team's gonna have to get the heck out of there. As Morgana very wisely shoving out the bot lane. It was building up pretty huge. So now this game is much, much closer. Getting into that beginning of the late game right now. We'll see what the purple team's response is. Again, that's about the third or fourth team fight that they've lost. But a nice catch onto Caitlyn. Oh, man. Caitlyn with a very disrespectful back. Not paying attention. Should have been backing in a safer place since they knew that purple team was in the area. And purple team will most likely try to capitalize with an inhibitor turret. luckily for the blue team, the wave is not there. So they're just going to have to rotate around. But purple team should still be able to get this inhibitor. And we'll see if the blue team can hold. Ooh, Morgana taking a chunk of damage. Misfortune still not hitting the inhibitor. You can tell how worried she is, staying very far in the back. Ragnarok getting blown, but Olaf not really doing anything with it. And Wukong and Olaf are both going to go down, and I think that might be the game if they keep pushing. Especially if Caitlyn is to die. If Caitlyn gets caught, this game is over. But purple team not feeling like testing their luck. They're going to take what they can get. And they ace in the hole just because. So yeah, that's spiraled out of control so bad for the blue team. They were very, very close to regaining some semblance of control. But one untimely catch and it just turned into an inhibitor and a whole bunch of deaths. Very, very unfortunate. And a good job by the purple team to capitalize. Without Caitlyn being there in the fight, that team fight was a lot easier. There was definitely a lot of indecisiveness on the blue team as to whether or not they wanted to fully commit to that. Olaf popped his Ragnarok and he was kind of just running around in circles, not sure what to do. And oh, Crescendo blown onto Alistar for some reason. That is a very huge part of their team fight that is now down. And the top lane is getting shoved in extremely hard because of the inhibitor being down. So purple team, all they have to do is just keep shoving in the lanes. Eventually someone's going to have to go and clear that mess up there. And that's just going to leave the remaining two inhibitor turrets free for the taking. You can see the blue team doing their best to try and clear everything out. Baron is up in 13 seconds. That is probably the last throw factor left in the way of their victory. So they're just going to go ahead and secure it. Blue team is in no position to go out there and fight them. They're just focusing on clearing the waves. As the invisible Baron Nashor getting taken down by the purple team, who were looking kind of shaky for a good part of the mid game. Ooh, very aggressive flash forward by the Renekton. Pops his Dominus, he's in the middle of everything, but he is not going down very fast, as Or's Tamaki is definitely a dead monkey. Morgana popping her Zhonya's combo with the ulti, but the ult just tickles the purple team. Oh, and Caitlyn juking them, forcing the fail flash. But Caitlyn is in no man's land. She just has to run away and try to recall. But Sona gets cut off very, very fast. 50 seconds on her. About 30-something seconds on the remaining two members. Purple team should be able to just close this out. They have a wave of creeps coming, but I don't think they need it too badly. Still 20 seconds on the earliest respawn. So if they just focus down the objectives, they should be able to close this out. Yeah, these Nexus turrets are melting. So that will be it. A good effort by the blue team, but game one will go to Hot Raccoons, and they go up 1-0 in this race to 2 games.